Hey YouTubers, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. I'm looking at the PT Cruiser today. Uh, Having some problems with it, it's not starting. So let me kind of walk you through what's been going on with it here. So the 2002 PT Cruiser, hey Chryslers. This has got it's got about 50,000 miles on it, so it's a low mileager. Um, it always ran fine. My wife started having issues where the key wasn't turning in the ignition, and she'd have to play with it and jiggle it. And about 2 weeks ago, it just wouldn't start one morning. She couldn't get the key to turn. So I went ahead and got another ignition lock cylinder for it. And I got the Dorman one where you can change out the tumblers and keep your same key, because this has the gray key, which has the chip in it. So I got that all set up, replaced, fired it up, it started up. I let it run for 2 or 3 minutes and shut it back down. Told my wife it was fixed. Well, she didn't have any place to go for a couple days, so when she did, I was at work. She was ready to go in the morning, and darn thing wouldn't start. It was turning over, but it won't start. And let's see. It had to be like 2 days after I had it started. And so it was, it was about 10 degrees below hell freezing over that day. It was like super cold. And it didn't have much gas in it. And less than an eighth of a tank. It was down there on E. And I said, well, it's probably the fuel line froze up. So today it's 45 degrees. I put a bottle of heat in it. And another 5 gallons of gas in it. It should be froze up. Tries to start it, won't start. And it's making that suspicious sound. It sounds like maybe a timing belt issue, where you get the, it sounds like 3 of the cylinders, good compression, and that 4th cylinder, no compression. So I'm hoping it's not a timing belt. It doesn't have a lot of miles on it, but it hasn't probably ever had a timing belt to my knowledge. But it is a 2002, so it's got some age to it. That could have gotten brittle and old and popped. It's one of those things I was planning on doing next spring, just hadn't got around to it. So I checked to make sure it had spark. I went ahead and hooked my old timing light right here. My old Harbor Freight timing light. I hooked that up to cylinder number 1. Squeeze the button, turn the key. It's got a regular spark. It's firing. So I took and sprayed some starting fluid down the intake. Seemed to make no difference. So I'm getting ready to do a compression test here. Now, in all of Chrysler's infinite design engineering prowess, they decided to make it so that you can get to this plug on the end, you can get to this plug down here maybe, but the 2 in the middle, you're going to take off this plenum. And say there's 3 bolts back there, a bunch of hoses, connectors, crap, bolts up here. What the fuck, Chrysler? What the hell? It's this way this car is, everything's impossible to get to. So I'm going to do a compression test on number 1. And that other, well, I guess this is number 1. It's either 1 or 4, but the 2 end cylinders. And see if I have any low compression there. If I don't, I'll probably move on to the 2 middle cylinders. Now, could still be a fuel delivery issue, because I pulled this plug out. This thing's bone dry. And I've been cranking and cranking on it. So it should be wet. I'm still not sure that it's a timing issue. If we have good compression on all the cylinders, though, we'll know it's not a timing issue. We'll know we're getting spark. And then probably the next thing is to try to figure out where I can hook up a fuel pressure test kit on this beast and go ahead and test the fuel pressure. I don't see a Schrader valve. I just have to look around for one. So I've got my test kit. I went down. I don't own one. Also, the battery's dead, so I got it hooked up to the Honda here, just giving the battery a charge. And then we'll see if what we can figure out here. Well, I don't know if you can see that. Looks like we're at about maybe 80 pounds of compression on that cylinder. That's not enough. Thing is, the thing almost started up and acted like it was going to run on 3 cylinders. I know you're supposed to disconnect the darn coil. It's very clear under this plenum. Boy, I sure don't have to. Let me just give her another shot here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I only got about 30 pounds that time. We've got an internal engine issue. No doubt about it. I gotta go look up and see what all you gotta do. Get this like timing cover off. Check the timing belt. But just from that sound that it's making, that you heard when it's cranking over, it sounds like I got one cylinder with low compression, which tells me that I've got a timing or a valve issue probably, and I'm just gonna guess. That timing belt's got old, it's got brittle. It was severely super cold, made it more brittle, and it's probably stripped a tooth or two or slipped. May have been a valve. It could just be out of time a little bit, but I'm betting, these are really interference engines from what I'm hearing and seeing. That timing belt moves a little bit, these engines are done. So it'll probably be time to check the timing. If the timing belt's bad, we're going to pull the head. And I hear these are kind of a monster to do, but I'll take my time and do it a little bit at a time on days when it's warm enough and I got here to work on it, I guess. Until then, luckily we have extra vehicles. I've got the Honda and the Pontiac, which is what my wife's driving right now. And I still got the old truck if we need it. 300,000 miles on it, and it still seems to get going. It needs a battery, but I can use the jump pack if I need to. So yeah, at least now we know. Alright folks, I'll keep you updated as I find out stuff on this and just let you know. Sucks when these things happen. There's always a chance, since it wasn't driving or accelerating when it happened, it was just when it went to start, and it didn't start, the timing belt went, that maybe it didn't bend the valves up too bad, and it's just out of time. But I've just had a feeling since I got a high compression reading once and that next time a lower, I'm just betting we got ourselves some bent valves. This is Tom, Frugal Prepper, and I'll talk to y'all later.